So now we are talking about socialism in Russia. Whenever we are discussing about socialism, as we already discussed, that is, all political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914. The Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, which was founded in 1898, and the source of inspiration for the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was Karl Marx's idea. And this party, supported by setting up newspapers, mobilizing workers, and organizing strikes. But when we are talking about socialism, it is related with the industries or industrial work. But Russian socialists feel peasants and not workers would be the main force of revolution in Russia. Russian socialists, they felt that the peasants would be the main force of the revolution because Russian peasants were natural socialists. Yesterday also we have discussed a little bit about this. They had the customs of dividing land periodically according to the needs of individual families. So according to them, Russia could become socialist more quickly than any other country. Social Democrats disagreed with socialist revolutionaries about peasants. Here again, a new name in front of you, that is Lenin. Lenin felt peasants were not a united group because some were poor and others rich. Some worked as laborers while others were capitalists who employed workers. So given this differentiation within them, that means in the peasant society, they could not all be a part of the socialist movement. So socialist revolutionaries who formed the Socialist Revolutionary Party in 1900 felt Russian peasants' custom of dividing land periodically made them natural socialists. So peasants, not workers, would be the main force of the revolution. And this was the reason Russia could become socialist more quickly. But when we are discussing about the Russian Socialist Democratic Workers' Party, it split over the question of organization and the policy, and it was split into two parts, and that is the party divided by Lenin and Kerensky. The two political parties were formed, that is Bolshevik and Menshevik. The Mensheviks represented a minority group under the leadership of Alexander Kerensky. They believed in gradual change and establishment of a parliamentary form of government, like that of France and Britain. They wanted to transform the society through education and reform among workers. This party, that means Menshevik, was liberal and was open to all and wanted to work within the system. But Bolsheviks were totally different from them. The Bolshevik under the leader Lenin constituted a majority of the socialists. They wanted to work for revolution and favored a disciplined party to control the members and quality of its members. Bolsheviks wanted to make the party an instrument for bringing about the revolution and wanted to transform Russian society through force if necessary. So, Bolshevik and Mensheviks differences. But after that, we will go for the 1905 revolution. When we are talking about the 1900 revolution, before starting the revolution, we will discuss about the causes of revolution in 1905 and the events responsible for the revolution of 1905 were the most important, that is autocratic ruler. And when we are talking about the ruler, an autocratic ruler at the time, Russia was under the rule of czars. Unlike other European rulers, even at the beginning of the 20th century, the Tsar was not subject to parliament. That means he was independent, he was not under the control of parliament. Tsar Nicholas II was an inefficient and corrupt ruler. After that, rule of liberals and socialists. Liberals and socialists were against the dynastic rule. They worked with workers and peasants to demand a constitution and supported in Muslim-dominated areas by the jihadists. That is a very new word for you, jihadist. That means Muslim reformer in Russian society who wanted modernized Islam to lead their society. Now, strike of the workers. These are the causes of the revolution of 1905, why this revolution was occurred. That is the most important. In 1904, which was a bad year for Russian workers, prices of essential commodities rose so quickly that the real wages declined by 20%. The membership of workers associations rose dramatically. When 4 workers of the Assembly of Russian Workers 1904 were dismissed at the Puchilov Iron Works, over 110,000 workers in St. Petersburg went on strike and demanded reduction in working hours, an increase in wages, and improvement in the working conditions. And at the time, one incident which is known as Bloody Sunday, that occurred on 22nd January 1905. That was another straw in this revolution. 22nd January 1905 in Petersburg, when a mass of peaceful workers and their families, led by Father Gapon, were fired upon by the police and Cossacks when they were on their way to the Winter Palace to present a petition. Petition means request, demand to the Tsar. In this firing, more than 100 workers were killed and about 300 wounded. Since the event took place on Sunday, it is known as Bloody Sunday. Not only incidents, but effect, consequences. This incident of Bloody Sunday in 1905, because it initiated a series of events which came to be known as the Revolution of 1905. Strikes took place all over the country, and student walkouts forced universities to close down. Lawyers, doctors, engineers, and other middle class workers demand for a constituent assembly led to the creation of Duma, which we can call Russian parliament. So now, the demands of the workers. What were the main demands of these workers? That is, reduction in working day to 8 hours, increase in wages, improvement in working conditions. So these were the causes of the 1905 revolution, but we will discuss about consequences. 1905 revolution resulted in the creation of an elected consultative parliament, which was vested with the powers to make laws. The Tsar yielded and accepted in his manifesto, the October Manifesto, to be a constitutional head. The manifesto granted freedom of speech, press, and association. Soviets like Petrograds, Soviet was set up everywhere. These Soviets became instruments of political power and played a significant role in the upheaval of 1917. But members were incorporated in the Duma under Tsar in Russia. So the Tsar dismissed the first Duma within 75 days and re-elected the second Duma within 3 months. He did not want any questioning of his authority or any reduction of the power. Tsar changed the voting laws and packed the Third Duma with conservative politicians. Liberals and revolutionaries were